Hello tribe, welcome to the channel. I do apologize about the table here. I got wax spill and I messed up my mat. This reading was kind of indirectly suggested by someone, and thanks so much. I also haven't seen this topic done frequently, if at all. So basically what we're doing here, since you know your children pretty well and you can read them pretty well, I do want to tap into the energy, almost like the higher self, the soul of a child, and we will see what we need to talk about here. We are going to be using the Organic deck today, and I will arrange it nicely in a minute. All the cards look the same. If you want to, you can choose from thumbnail. Maybe I'm going to include it just after this. Some people like just plain cards, some people like thumbnail, so I'll try to do both here. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. If you need some more time, take a minute, and I will see you guys in timestamps. Hey, group number 1, what do we need to talk about? What do we need to know? And I'll also be using Tarot of the Angels. By the way, as I'm shuffling here, let's use this time. I currently have a promotion going for May. $20 off of my services, meaning tarot readings, hypnosis sessions, and $5 off of my shop. The codes you can see in the description box. If you'll have any problems, any questions, email me. Okay, why the Seven of Swords? And why the Nine of Swords? Okay, let's volume up the music. It helps me tap in tiny bit. Okay, this is definitely a sensitive child. Definitely someone who I feel like tends to maybe overthink, or they may be particularly quite scared or not really comfortable with loud or unexpected sounds. I do see kind of this feeling as if I'm a bit uneasy in certain situations specifically connected to the sound. This individual is also someone who really doesn't like the unexpected when they don't see it coming. Again, the child may be jumpy at times. Seven of Swords is telling me, but clarified by Nine of Swords, is something that we don't see, or we don't always see. We don't always notice. So maybe that's something that you already did notice. Maybe you're going to be following this from now on, kind of paying attention to that, to recognize what kind of external triggers maybe messing up a little bit their calm and peace in their head. This is definitely a child that's being shown in the cards that's going to be pretty successful here. I do see that. Doesn't matter what kind of issues they may have in a childhood. I'm seeing they may grow out of this, or if there was an allergy, they may grow out of that, or if they have any issues right now that you think, oh my God, I don't know when they're gonna change or when they're gonna start being better at talking even. This child in general is being shown as a child who will need a bit of time, maybe a bit more time than some others, with a particular skill, or maybe just in general. This is a very sensitive child, and you probably know this. A sensitive child, again, I keep seeing as if this child wants to say, I really don't like shouting, I don't really like to be in places or surrounded by people, even if, let's say, there is a party going on and an adult starts shouting something, hey John, come over here. I keep getting this jumpy sensation here. What does this child like the most that you do? What does this child like the most that you do? Physical touch is really important here. physical touch, and this child really likes repeating events that they enjoy. So maybe there is a game that you always play, some sort of a tradition. They like tradition. It's important. They keep looking forward to that. Routine. But this more so talks about routine games that keep repeating themselves. And even if some people may say, oh my God, don't you get bored playing the same game? They will probably say, no, I enjoy this game. But again, physical touch, every time you hold their hand, every time you hug them as you are watching something, or you just randomly hug them and take them into your arms. It's a sensory child. Can I call it that? Sensory child. It's about the sounds and it's about the touch. The touch calms them down. Too many chaotic or unexpected sounds makes them feel chaotic, and it may even disturb their learning or their focus. Is there something that they would want to say that you don't see, or you need to do more of? Now this is going to be pretty specific, so keep in mind, not for all of you. I'm being told that I would love, if we can, visit the person that I missed. And I don't know who this person is for them. So I will not try and tell you exactly, because a lot of different stories and life situations. But the person that they missed, or they used to go to visit a particular location, a house where this person used to live, or maybe lives till this day. There is a bit of nostalgia here, but that nostalgia wants to come back. I want it to be real again. I want this to happen again. Anything to do with communication of yours? Anything to do with communication of yours? It's a lot, again, any conflict, anything that may feel even triggering for you, maybe your patience is being tested at times, can be solved. Yes, you can use words, but for this child, it gets solved by a physical touch. How can I calm them down? Some people may want to talk to the child, right? Being close to them and talking, hey, everything is fine. How can I help you? What do you want? Do you want a blanket, your favorite toy? Whatever the case. Here, it's as if this individual, they can hear you, but they can hear you far away. Until they get that physical touch, they're not really digesting the information. I hope this made sense and this helped someone. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to be using the Tarot of the Angels. I'm going to give it a good shuffle because I pulled cards for the pile for you. And as I'm shuffling, just quickly an update. I do have May promos. And the promos are those. For any of my services on my website, would it be tarot readings, would it be hypnosis sessions, $20 off with the code guidance, and $5 off on my ritual shop with code shop rituals. It's going to continue until 31st of May. Let's start. What do we need to know about this child? Oh, you have an interesting one in your hands. It's the child. Listen, the child is unique, may not fit in, and they don't really have to try to fit in, because the path that they're going to be walking is going to be pretty unique. Their interests may be very different. Maybe in general, something about them is very different from other people. There is big kind of differentiation that I'm seeing. I'm seeing them in a crowd of kids, and they stand out. This is a unique maybe child. This may be a special child. This may be a child, not maybe, but this is a child that is very, very intuitive and tapped in not only to this physical world, but also the spiritual world. At times you may even notice how the child says something. When the child says something to you, you go, oh my God, that's what I needed to hear and I didn't even know. Or what they randomly said to me, I was just thinking about that. They may even answer at times your questions that you quietly, silently thinking in your head. This is a child that was supposed to come into your life not only as a family member, but also as an indirect, very subtle guide. Are you noticing these things so far? Maybe for some of you it's the days are young, maybe the child doesn't talk just yet, but they will find their voice. If anyone is worried about that, I keep looking at that, and my voice is a little bit different. It feels different than in pile number 1. Okay. Highly protected child, by the way. Again, this child still has a very strong connection to the other side, to their guides, to their ancestors. Wouldn't be surprised if this child had a lot of intriguing, interesting, deep dreams. A father figure is really important. What this child wants to say, again, remember, I am tapping into the energy, the soul. What this child wants to say, it's really important for me to have a strong father figure. Even if the father is not present in their life, they have to have a strong masculine figure in their life. Would it be a friend? Would it be a grandpa? It doesn't really matter, but it's really important for them, because they gotta find the balance between the feminine and the masculine. Right now they are mostly in the feminine energy regardless of their sex, which is great, but the masculine aspect is a little bit lacking. And the masculine, what does it do? It goes, it accomplishes, and also masculine energy calms down. It makes you feel more grounded, more right here, right now, where the feminine doesn't mean that she's not here right now, but she's very tapped into the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, the spiritual realm. She's the caretaker, she's about the touch, the mothering. But for this child, what we are seeing here, maybe this could be also an older brother who can be that father figure. It's important to have that. If this child has that already, this is a pat on a back. This child is saying, this makes me very, very happy, and this teaches me more than you know. If you are a father of this child, you're doing good. This child puts you on a pedestal. You are an example for them. This is one of those stories where a child grows up, doesn't matter they had an actual father in their life or they didn't, but they did have a father figure, right? And they go, you know what, I'm most proud of my father. I look up to my father. Not to say that the mother is not someone that they look up to, but that's really important for them. And having a really good example of a father is really important for them. They may even have an older friend, slightly older friend, who is a male. Maybe in school. Yeah, that masculine energy is important. What do they like when you tend to do? What do they like when you what you tend to do? This child is more like a homebody. I'm being shown here. At home is where I recharge, not only physically but energetically too. Yes, this child may enjoy gatherings, maybe, friends coming over, friends getting together, but this child is more so being shown to me as the homebody, but that is being shown as it will change in the future, which is really interesting. Almost as if we are going from a more introverted version of self into a more extroverted version of self, and a bit of a free soul later on. Very interesting. I'm telling you, this child is very unique. Everything about their energy for me here feels very colorful and very unique. And the colors that I'm seeing on this painting, the painting is representation of them. Neon mixed with glitter, mixed with black. It's very unique compilation of colors and images that I'm seeing. If this child will want to be an artist or touch art as a hobby, it's gonna be the best thing for them. Not only for self-expression, but also discovering the self, discovering their style, discovering their parts of themselves. It's really important. They really like to cozy up and be at home with you. What else do they like? What do you tend to do that this child likes? Interesting. I don't think, again, very, very interesting child. This child likes order and discipline. They need order and discipline. They recognize, the highest self recognizes, I need that. If I had too much freedom or too much free will, I may not be my best version of self. So maybe at times you may feel sad or guilty when you tell them off, but really they need that strong energy. So we keep coming back to this need of a masculine figure. And at times we see mothers who sit more in the masculine energy, and fathers are those who like, oh, my princess, I'm gonna let her do whatever. So it doesn't matter who that is, really. You can be a mother and have that strong masculine presence, but it's really important here. Discipline is the way to go for sure. And you can say, all kids need discipline, we all need discipline. Yes, but this one especially. You may even notice that. Let's say maybe some other child goes to sleep an hour later than usual, and they don't really feel that much different throughout the day. Maybe they will nap in the afternoon, but this child would probably feel very imbalanced. The moment they wake up, they may be snappy, they may be not in the mood, they may be crying constantly, they're just kind of lashing out. Discipline is the way to go. Is there something that you don't notice, don't see? Let's go deeper. Anything that you don't notice, don't see. Oh, I was just drawn to this particular deck that I got. It's not in English, so I will translate that for you. We're going to be looking at the strengths of the child and potential weaknesses. What are the strengths of this? Ooh, card on the floor, 1 second. But this one did not belong in a deck, so I'll put it back. That's why it slipped away. What are the strengths of this child? What are the possible weaknesses of this child? Basically, we're looking at the light and the shadow aspects. So, let's start with the strength. Again, I'm telling you, this child is connected. It says, being unconditionally loved by a creator. I told you this child was protected, or was it in my head? I probably have. Love for self and acceptance for self and the others. Again, we're coming back to what we talked about, uniqueness. This child is unique. This child is able to accept others more than maybe people that you know or kids that you know. Very nice energy. And it also says, as a strong point, the healing power of love. So this person will definitely walk life with an open heart. And it doesn't matter how many times someone may, either sadden them or disappoint them, this individual will walk with an open heart. And that's a good thing, because a lot of us grown-ups tend to shut it off, right? We go, no trust, I'm afraid. This is a brave child as well. Now, the shadow aspects, the potential weaknesses we got, it says, how do I translate this for you? Masks, repressed emotions, too much pride, thinking on a superficial level, surface level, and being stuck and not finding a way out. Now, why can this happen? Let's see, let's go a bit deeper. What does need to happen in order for this child to be and operate from the shadow aspect? What needs to happen? If they're not able to express themselves, if, let's say, a parent says, you know, you can tell me everything. You can tell me everything. I would rather know where you're at than, you know, guess where you're at. I want to know who you're with. And you can trust me, I will not come to that party and bring you home. But then let's say the child goes, okay, I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I'm going to tell you everything. And I may have a couple of drinks. We're talking about a teenager now. A situation of a teenager, right? I may have a couple of drinks. I know you don't like that, but you know, you told me that I can tell you everything. And once this child opens up, the parents shut them down completely, and they do the opposite. They actually go to that party and bring them home, something that they promised they wouldn't do. So making sure that this trust is not broken, but we are disciplining well, but we also realizing where is that balance, right? Where is that balance? Can I be a person that they can come to if a problem arises? And can I also be a person who is tough? I know it can be slippery business, but it's really important for this child to be able to express themselves freely. It's what they say and how it is accepted. If I make a mistake when I'm doing homework, do I feel that my parent starts getting angry at me just by the body language? If I feel that, I will probably shut down and I will not be able to think or focus. If a mom or father has patience with me, yeah, at times I can see frustration, it's all good, but more patience with me, I will be more focused. I will be able to ask more questions about the task. Why is this? Why is that? Without being afraid. Without being afraid that they will be judged or they will be disturbing or saddening the parent just by this task that they cannot maybe understand at that time. So patience is what they need during times when they are maybe confused themselves or during times that are vulnerable. I hope this made sense and this was helpful. Pile number 2. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Let's see what we got here. 8 of Wands. And I'll also be using Tarot of the Angels. And as I'm shuffling, in case you skipped intro, or I didn't mention that in the intro, I'm not sure. I have May promotions. $20 off of any of my services, including tarot readings and hypnosis, with code guidance until 31st of May, and $5 off of anything in my ritual shop with the code shop rituals. No, shop ritual. Anyway, it's in the description box. You'll find it if you need it. Let's go. Couple of more shuffles. Couple here. I feel like we're ready. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Two of Swords. Okay, what is that we don't see at times? Page of Cups. I see. Chariot. I don't know, for some reason, this child's soul is highlighting 2 very important individuals in their lifetime. So this feels like a contract that was made pre-incarnation. One or both of those people, this person, this child may not have even met, and I really feel like for most of you they haven't. These two individuals will teach them a lot in this lifetime. One will teach them how to deal with money, or how to be a good business person, how to manage their money, what is the worth of money. But this more so feels like later on, once they are trying to find a job, it may be one of the first jobs. It may be tough, but at the same time, that's exactly what they needed. Maybe they get a boss that is pretty tough. Maybe they get a job that teaches them a lot, things that they didn't even know that they didn't know. So it feels really important. And the second person who's going to be really influential in this person's life will be emotionally important. So maybe someone who raises them. This is masculine though, who I'm picking up. This may be someone who steps in to raise them. A person basically who will be teaching them love. And if you, let's say you are a mother watching this, of course you're teaching them love, all of those good things, but there's someone else who will be doing similar job like you do, but slightly differently. Like I'm getting a different angle. Nice. So this pile story from the beginning is slightly different than two other piles, but I go with I feel we need to highlight first. This child may really like going on trips or being driven in a car or on a bike. What calms them down very much is being on the way somewhere, on the road, on the way somewhere. You may not notice this just yet if the child is very young, but you have on your hands one of those children who definitely will be traveling a lot. Would it be with their work? Would it be for pleasure? Would it be both? Movement in general is really beneficial for them. If you'd be moving quite frequently, you may say, oh my God, for the child, yes, they need that safety and security. Change can imbalance them from time to time, right? Like, oh, this is a new environment for me again. But later down the line, the change of environment, of course, not chaotic, not too often every week or every month, but the changes in seeing different maybe people or surroundings in their childhood is really important for their development. This is someone who either way will want to travel. So even life circumstances may happen where they're being prepared for changes of environment before they even know that they're going to be changing environment themselves. Does that make sense? So it's one of those people. This person also reminds me of someone who may be spiritually inclined, but later on, once they got some life experience, they may have a job, let's say even if a job is in a logical field, requires a lot of logic. I feel like sooner or later they will discover a belief system that is very interesting and very close to their heart. If this is not a belief system, then this is definitely a way of living that is slightly different than some other people's. What would they say about your relationship right now? What would they say about your relationship right now? I chose you, they are saying. I chose to come from above and be a part of your family. We know this, right? Okay. What do they want to say about you two? What is better in that case? Let me see. What is better in that case? Oh, wow. Okay, what they're saying, I know I may be challenging at times, literally getting on your nerves at times. And maybe, actually, I'm seeing a situation where it's happening very frequently, so maybe it's a difficult child. a child that riots. Literally, I'm seeing riot. But what their soul is telling me, if you will want to find peace with me by giving me physical things, like giving me a gift, or if I misbehave and you say behave nicely and then you'll get a toy, this doesn't really work for them. You may think that it does, but this is not really good for them in long term. There has to be some other way of dealing with this individual instead of bribing them. Behavior, I'm hearing. Maybe, is there a behavior therapist? I really feel like if there is one, I don't know how it's called, but if there is one, that would be highly beneficial here. If you're one of those people who are struggling with what I'm talking about, because it may not be for all of you here. Yeah, but when I'm hearing, when I have tantrums, bribing me just makes those tantrums even bigger later on, because I know I'll be getting something. So be careful with slight manipulation here. Listen, children, they all do that. They read parents and they go, oh, what can I do to get this, right? They do have that. But here, this is for you. This is for your own peace of mind once the teenage years hit. Because then they're young now. That's what I'm talking about. So you can do that now and find the ways. Otherwise, bottom of the deck, I have the 10 of Wands. It may be the more time passes, the more difficult it may become. So if you do need guidance from someone, from a professional, really go get it if you can, because I feel like that would give you a lot of insight and less heartache in the future. This may be a wild child that you got here. They don't listen. They don't don't want you to tell them what to do. Maybe I'm literally talking about a teenager here. How do they view you as a parent? I want to just check in and see. How do they view you as a parent? They like you as a parent very much because you give them a lot of options, they're saying. You're giving me a lot of options, and I'm able to do a lot of things because of you. Maybe some other children cannot do as much as I can do. What they also like is that you will be, or you are, supporting them with their choices. I better learn from my own mistake than I get shut off every time and I don't try anything at the end because my parent did not allow me. So they're saying that they really like that you allow them to make mistakes instead of being a helicopter parent. They learn that way the best. They need to experience it. When maybe some other children, they may listen. Oh, they told me if I'm gonna take a step here, I may hurt myself. They told me no, I will not go there. But this child will probably want to step on purpose and they will want to see what happens. Because that's how they digest information. Okay, now I see. Whatever they were telling me, like, yeah, let me try. So it's one of those children, definitely. Like, I need to try this out for myself. And yes, all children need to try it out themselves, but this one especially. Words may not work for this child very often. Let me go and do it, and I'll come back with the outcome. One of those situations. What's the best way to communicate with this child, this soul? What is the best way to communicate, just in general, with this child? What am I looking for? I'm looking for a particular saying. In a strong, calm, and assertive manner. That's the way. Strong, calm, assertive manner. Shouting just goes in, goes out. What else do we need to know about this individual? Very future-oriented. Very future oriented. At times they may even overthink because they get lost in their thoughts and their daydreaming and their maybe illusions. So it's important for this child to find ways how to be grounded. Okay, what can I do today? I can have these big goals for my future, but what can I do right now today? I hope this made sense, pile number 3, and this was helpful. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.